All right. Come on in, everybody. We are live. We are live. Here we go. All right. So welcome, welcome. Some of you guys are logging in through our Balance Academy links that I sent out. And some of you today are getting a treat and getting to see today's session live, as we're live streaming on Facebook, multiple channels. We're live streaming on Twitter, multiple channels, or on Twitter and on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So let me know where you guys are coming in from. I'm going to go ahead and open. I'm not going to share the screen yet. I'm going to go ahead and open my chat just so that I can see anybody that's here on the Zoom. You can chat with us. So wherever you're coming in from, just type in there for me where you're watching this. And also, if you are a real estate agent or if you are something else by profession. Okay. Jeff, okay, there we go. Here they come. So if you're a real estate agent, please type in real estate agent and where you're from in the YouTube comments, and the Facebook comments, and the Twitter comments, LinkedIn, Zoom, wherever you guys are. So real estate agent, and if you are where you're chiming in from.
Awesome. And a couple of housekeeping notes. If you can change your chat to say to everyone instead of just to hosts and panelists, so we can all see each other's conversations. And then Lori, are we recording as well?
Oh, thank you. Let me go ahead and hit record for the playbacks. And we will record to the cloud.
There we go.
Okay, welcome. All right, well, let me tell you what the topic is today. And again, for those of you that are just jumping in, please let me know if you're a real estate agent and where you're from. And if you're not a real estate agent, let me know that too, because I've been recently expanding my videos and audience to people that build niche websites, life coaches, weight loss coaches, affiliate marketers, that kind of thing. If you hear sneezing in the background, that's my cat. He's got the sneezers. All right. Okay, now I see you all popping. See, there we go. Thank you, Joe. We've got a local business marketing, web design, SEO. That's what I was looking for. Marketing director, Kim. Okay, so if this is your first time joining me, welcome. Today, we're going to discuss how to find questions that people frequently ask in your industry, and then how to create content around them. So a lot of you guys that have been following me for years are real estate agents. And so I often will give a glimpse of my real estate website or my analytics, or we'll use real estate examples. And I'm happy now that we've got non-real estate coming in as well to look at other types of things also. So speak up, comment, let me know what you guys want to see examples of as we're going through this. Now, I am going to show some tools today. We're going to look at free tools. We're going to look at some paid tools. I like to address the beginner and show you where you can get started. But I also like to take the more everyday user and the more experienced users into software that can streamline your business, help you move faster. So I'm always showing software that I use as well. And a lot of these are paid platforms. Now, it does not mean that you have to pay for any software to do the stuff we're going to do today. You don't. But I'm going to show it to you anyway, because it's awesome and amazing. And if you've got the budget, you might want to work with something like that. Or you might want to compare other tools that could be similar. Okay. I don't know them all, but I'll show you what it is that I use. All right. Okay. Also, for those of you guys that are Balance Academy members, this is going to be loaded up for you in the in your course curriculum as well. So don't hesitate to type your questions into wherever you're watching this from, and that will help us know who else is here. And I can, Jeff, let me introduce Jeff really quick. Jeff, why don't you hop on here and tell everybody why you're here with me today?
Awesome. So I am Jeff. I am most recognized as Lori Ballin's brother, one of Lori Ballin's brothers. But more importantly, what I do is I run operations and have worked side by side with Lori through all of her marketing and her more recent businesses. And so what we do is we at Ballin Brands can kind of help come in and fill out some of the leverage items if these are things that maybe you don't want to do or have trouble doing. So we're here for the support. So on this call specifically, I will help answer questions. I'll bring certain questions to Lori's attention in case there's, some that would be valuable, of course, to the group. But otherwise, again, here for support and to help you carry out what Lori is so graciously here teaching us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It looks like our live stream went to YouTube, but it looks like it may not be going on to Facebook. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to play with all of that after the fact to get it to go to all the places it's supposed to go. Okay. I went ahead and bought the Black Friday Restream special, which was a 1-year offer to restream to all the channels at once, but I have not sat down and figured it all out yet. So I can see that it's working with YouTube, but it doesn't look like it went to the other channels. So we'll share those after the fact. All right. Let's get into today's topic. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me just get to, there we go. Right there is where I want to be. And I'm going to click share my screen. Desktop 1. Here we go.
And we have our first question. How are you doing today? Coley Cutler asked.
Oh, I'm not seeing the questions. Where are you seeing that?
Yeah, that one actually went on YouTube, so it doesn't look like it's feeding into our.
Oh, fantastic. All right. You said it was Coley? Well, welcome. We're doing just great over here. Thanks for chiming in there. Okay. So you guys should be able to see my screen, and you can let me know if I need to make anything bigger or smaller as we move through this. All right. So what we're looking at right now is my website. I'm a niche website builder. So I have a real estate website. I also have a lifestyle blog. I have a food blog. I have a blog that teaches people how to blog. I've got a finance blog. So I dabble in a bunch of the different niches. But real estate is the one tried and true. I've been doing it since 2007. And I often like to show this as an example, and especially since a lot of you guys are real estate agents. So what you're going to see here, ballinvegas.com is the real estate website. And that is over here, ballinvegas.com. It is built on a WordPress platform. And Jeff and Paul, my brothers over at ballinbrands.com, do build these real estate agent websites. So as we're talking, I'll just explain that I am a WordPress power user. I love WordPress. I build all my websites on WordPress. And that's because I believe that we should own our own asset. If we're going to sit down and we're going to build all this content, it's important to own our own. Now, for those of you guys that might be blogging on Wix or Shopify or Squarespace or Boomtown or Sync or any other of those places, that's fine. But I'm always going to reflect back to why I choose WordPress and why that's where I spend my primary focus. I've moved in and out. I've moved only twice with real estate brokerages. And when I left the first one and couldn't take my website with me, it was devastating. And so I ended up saying, I really need to find something that I can use all the time. So when I blog, you're going to see that I oftentimes will open it in WordPress as an example. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to only have it. All right. So right here, when we're looking at my statistics, we can see here that I have 21,000 keywords that rank on the top 100 positions on Google, bringing me in, according to this tool is Sem Rush. Jeff's going to throw you out some links now I can see your comments on my other screen. John Meeker from New Jersey, welcome. Coley Cutler, welcome. Okay. So for you guys that are on the Zoom, Jeff's going to be throwing out some links for you to software that I use. And then if you're watching on the YouTube live stream, I'll put the tools there for you. I am an affiliate marketer, so I do benefit from a lot of the tools that I talk about, but some of them I don't. So for example, this one here is called SEM Rush, and my link gets you a free trial. You can check it out. It is a little pricey. I want to say I'm grandfathered in at like $100 a month. And I think the new version starts at like 120. So absolutely not cheap. I had to work my way up into those tools. Another example of a keyword tool that I just bought, their Black Friday special also, is Uber Suggest. So Uber Suggest, it was created by Neil Patel, or Neil Patel bought it. I can't remember which one happened first, but Neil Patel's a big SEO guy and #1 SEO content marketer on the planet. And he has this tool, and I've been checking it out. And you'll see the differences in these two tools. On SEM Rush, it says that I have 21,000 keywords ranking for this website with a dollar value of $30,000 a month, which basically means, or 36,000. If I were to spend my way into earning that much traffic, I'd be spending $36,000, okay, to get that traffic. But I earn in by ranking on Google, doing things that we're talking about today. Uber Suggest says my traffic value is 85,400. So that's a little bit different. So I don't have an affiliate link with Uber Suggest, but I'm testing it, went ahead and paid for the year so that I could push it and see all the stuff that it does. But I will say that those are some pretty dramatic differences. All right. So I'll continue playing with it and report back. But over here, looking at Bal in Vegas, what we can see here is we can see all the keywords that I ranked for. If you notice, as we scroll down here past the zip codes one, which take up a large portion of the top of the traffic, since I hit #1 for Las Vegas zip codes, you'll see some questions that are starting to appear. What is Las Vegas zip code? Scroll down. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's more of a phrase than it is a question. What is the zip code for Las Vegas? What time is it in Las Vegas? And these go on and on. What is a casita? Now, this is an example of a keyword phrase that is a question that is very relevant to my market. How many of you guys, comment for me, how many of you guys know what a casita is? Do you have casitas where you are in your location? So I believe it's more of a Southwest term, and a casita is like an additional little house that's in your backyard, right? It's could be detached, it could be attached, could be a mother-in-law quarters, could be a pool house, could be another. If it's got a bathroom and a kitchen, you can rent it out. They're all different. But casitas are really popular in the Southwest. So that made sense for me to create that question. And I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes how I find those questions as well. But that may not make sense for somebody in another market. Okay. So if I wanted to look at some of my other ones, let's look up my when keywords. So questions are generally who, what, where, when, why, how. How is a big one. And questions are so popular on Google. Oftentimes people will go to Google and they will type in a question. Where is the best place to eat sushi near me? How to rank on Google, how to rank my blog on Google. What's the best theme for WordPress? How to find how to stop my cat from sneezing. That's something I've been Googling. So a lot of times we will go to those types of questions. So you can see here some of mine. When is spring break in Las Vegas? When purchasing a home, who pays for the home inspection? When do rents go down? What happens when a seller does not meet the closing date? Who was president when Hoover Dam was built? Again, there's the one that's only relevant to my market because I live near Hoover Dam. When buying a house, when do you set up utilities? What is premium when buying a house, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. Okay. If I go to one of my other blogs, we'll go to one of my newer ones. This is one that I started during when we were all forced to stay inside our homes. Get rid of that when question. This was a project I started in 2020, and I'm just now really amping it up and building a lot. So you'll see that on mine, there's a lot of regular keywords here, this versus that. But actually, if I go to pages, you can see all of the pages for my website. Oh, that's not going to help you much. The questions are things like, what is the DoorDash red card? What's the best way to post on Pinterest? When is the best time to host a webinar? That type of thing. Okay. So that's where we're really focusing today, is on these types of questions. And when you create questions, what happens is you bypass a lot of competition and you find some underserved topics and a lower barrier to entry when it comes to search engine optimization. Okay. Now, what happens is when you're first getting started, let's see. Let's just go with real estate for the time being. If I go over here to Uber Suggest, and let me move, there's a little zoom bar there. If I go to the home screen and I go to Uber Suggest and I type in any keyword phrase, let me just get back to the home screen. There we go. Let's type in real estate for an example, and I click search. Okay. This for some of you guys, this is a little bit high level. So I'm going to slow it down. I really need you to understand what I'm about to say. When you're creating content for Google, hold on, I'm going to see if I can, nope. Shucks. Trying to figure out how to pause that screen for a second. Stop share. There we go. Okay. I want you to focus for just a second. When you're creating content, you pretty much, as a general rule, there's always outliers, can only rank for terms where the competition on page 1 of Google has a similar website as far as authority goes. Okay. So authority on a website is based on backlinks to a website. That's when other websites link to your website. They refer to your website. So for example, I was yesterday, I messaged my brother Jeff and said, hey, I got a new backlink. And they actually mentioned me by name in the article. And this is always very exciting, especially when it's another website that has good authority, because the better the authority is of that website that links to you, the more valuable that link is in the eyes of Google. So it earns you more trust and helps build your authority. So somebody actually said in their article, if you want a visual on this, Lori Ballin created a great graphic here so that you could learn more about Cornerstone content or whatever. I think it was Cornerstone content, that one. Okay. So there's an example of a backlink. So I didn't go out and call them or pitch to them or anything like that. I just simply created great content. They discovered it. I'm going to show you when we go to some of our other tools how they discovered it, probably. They discovered it, and then they referred back to me, linked back to me, which is a best SEO practice. It's good for them, it's good for the users, and it's good for the person receiving the backlink. Well, the more of these backlinks that you get, the higher your domain authority builds. So when you're creating content, we look at a scoring system that shows us how competitive that term probably is. The higher the competition score is, the keyword difficulty score, the harder it is to rank for that term, the higher your domain authority has to be. So when we're first starting out, we have a domain authority score of 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We need to be competing against all of the other websites that are in that same range. If you just go out there and take on all these people, terms that are competitive, and you're competing against people with 70, 80, 90 domain authority scores, doesn't matter how great your content is, the chance that you're actually going to rank for that are slim to none. So instead, we start off with the smaller competition level keywords. This is where questions are really key. Okay, so let me go back here now. I'm going to show you this. Okay, Jeff, let me know if there's questions if I don't see them as they come in. Okay. All right, so right here, the term real estate. I typed in the term real estate, okay? That is called a seed keyword. That's a lot of these terms will be called multiple things, but we're just going to call that the seed keyword. That's the keyword I'd love my website to rank for. Let's just pretend, okay? So real estate, for example. There are 550,000 monthly searches for that term. So you're thinking, yes, I really want to rank for that term. Then you will go over here and the SEO difficulty is 74. On a scale of 0 to 100, 74 is going to be really hard to crack, okay? So this is where we start drilling down. We start going into those long tail keywords. These are going to be keywords that have more words to them, and they laser target a little bit better. Okay, so let's scroll down. I'm using Ubersuggest just for an example today. We can do the same thing on Sem Rush. Let's scroll down and take a look here at some of their suggestions. Okay, so real estate agent, according to Ubersuggest, real estate agent is still super competitive, right? But then real estate in Utah drops down a little bit. Okay. Now you can go to view all keyword ideas and take a look at more, and you can actually sort these by highest to lowest. And that will show you some of the lowest keyword difficulty, therefore the easiest to rank for. Okay. So for me, if I've got a domain name, a domain score, a domain authority score, all the tools rank it a little bit different. It's not a score that Google gives you. It's a score that the keyword SEO tools give you. So Ahrefs has one, Sem Rush has one, Moz actually started it, the domain authority score. Ubersuggest has one. Ubersuggest and Moz look like they're pretty similar. Just pick a tool and stick with that domain authority to look up authority.
And Lori, on that topic, have you noticed a certain specific like formula or anything between these tools that contribute to that score? I know length of domain.
Backlinks are the primary.
So okay, so
backlinks are the primary. But I'll tell you this, you guys. I call it the pandemic project because I started Ballin Blogger during that time. I have 5,000. Oh, let's see. Well, I'm not going to go back to the screen right now, but I think I have 5,000 backlinks, and I don't, with like 300 referring domains, I don't do any backlink outreach. I'm not sending emails to website owners saying, please link to my website, or can I guest blog, or here's an article. I work, although that has its place. If you've got the systems and the processes to do that, and that's something you want to do, that's great. I focus more on using statistics, infographics, visuals that people will refer to on my website so that I can organically earn those backlinks. As a matter of fact, Neil Patel is my highest backlink. And Neil Patel linked to a graphic that I created on, it was either topic clusters or cornerstone content or one of those things. And then I got a backlink from a domain authority of 90 something. And so that's a great backlink. I'm not going to teach backlinks today. There's a whole lot of other ways to get backlinks, guest blogging, haro.com, help a reporter out, where all the journalists post what they need articles for, and you can pitch, and then you can earn backlinks that way. But organically, just creating great content using a lot of visuals and statistics will help you gain all of your guides, tutorials, your long form content, 3,000 word, 4,000 word, 5,000 word guides. Those are going to get you backlinks naturally. Okay. So yes, there are a lot of things that go into your domain authority and topical authority and age, how long you've had your domain, but backlinks are really what we see moves that needle. Okay. All right. So great question. So over here, if you look down here, we're talking about the SEO difficulty getting lower. See where these questions start popping up? Where is real estate school? Where are real estate prices dropping in 2021? Which real estate school is best? And if you keep scrolling down, you'll see those. But there's other ways to find these. I'm going to show you in this tool, Sem Rush, and then another free version. And then we're going to go into my AI tool that's going to help us even discover more. Okay. So if up here, scroll back up to the top. Oh, let me go to hit the back button on Ubersuggest. So down here where we were playing around with all the different keyword ideas, see these tabs? You can look at related keyword ideas. You can look at related questions, prepositions, and comparisons. So here's your questions. Okay. Are real estate taxes deductible? How much do real estate agents make? Are real estate taxes the same as property taxes? How much is real estate commission? How do real estate agents make money? Now, according to his difficulty score, which again, they're all just rough estimates. These are not numbers provided by Google, they're estimates. So the best you can do is get in the ballpark of a competition level or search volume level and see how that works. Now, right now, because I have Sem Rush and Ubersuggest, I'm going back and forth between the two to see which ones really match up, because I know I'm probably, I have better odds of getting in there. Okay. If I go over to the Sem Rush tool and we type in real estate, so far between the two tools, Sem Rush is more comprehensive. It has more features. Ubersuggest is easier to use, 100%. I really like his design. It's clean, makes sense. I was able to go in there and fix SEO errors yesterday like that I have not been able to see in Sem Rush because it's just so geeky. There's just so much stuff in here. So if you're a true SEO and you love going in and doing your backlink outreach here and your SEO content templates, and this is a great tool for all that, but it gets too overwhelming for some people. So Ubersuggest is a simpler version. But if I go down and I see the word real estate, okay, they even have it as a higher difficulty, like almost impossible difficulty. And then I go to view all 2,146 keywords related to real estate. We're going to see a questions tab here, just like we have on Ubersuggest. So if I go right here to questions, which is right there for those of you guys using this tool, you're going to be able to do this the same way. And you can sort this by keyword difficulty, lowest to highest. So every day when I get up, this is my day every single day. I'm a full-time blogger and teacher. This is what I do. I'm a coach, full-time blogger. So I get up, depending on which website I want to work on. And this is exactly what I do every single day. I'm either looking up a competitor's website to see what they rank for, or I am playing around with my keyword tool, looking at topics, or I might be looking at something like Google Trends or something like that to get ideas. So this is how I start the day before I write any article. And this is how I write articles is based on looking at that lower competition up. There are times when creating a competitive piece of content still makes sense. And that would be if you're creating pillar posts or skyscraper content on your website that are going to be your main offers. So for example, if you're a real estate agent, you might have a comprehensive guide to buying a house in Las Vegas. That's where I'm at. A comprehensive guide to getting the most money in the short amount of time when selling your house. Okay. The cost of living, what's the cost of living in Las Vegas? Those types of things, even though they might be super competitive, building a long form piece of content for those categories is still beneficial because you're going to use them as offers, click here to learn how to buy a house, that type of thing. But for the everyday blogs, we want to start with the lowest competition and work our way up, as long as there's still people using that term. Okay. We don't want to make stuff up, but we want to make sure they're using that term. So you can start by sorting lowest competition up, and you can go through here and see what might be an opportunity. Why choose us for real estate? That's an interesting one. Why choose us for your real estate needs? That's interesting. The problem with that is nobody's actually Googling why choose us, right? So you might rank for that term, but it's probably not going to be a really great term for ranking on Google. So what you could do is you can go up here to volume, and we can say, show me only searches that have 250 searches a month and up. Sometimes I go for 1,000 and up if there's a lot to choose from. And sometimes zero search, I'm going to laugh because I just saw the first keyword on there. Sometimes zero searches can still bring you a lot of traffic because these keyword tools are just estimates. So here's an awesome opportunity. I guess I need to go write this blog. Wendy, if you're watching, let's put it on the list. Can real estate agents have tattoos? I had no idea that was even being searched, and I never would have discovered it if it weren't for this. And there's an opportunity here. Now, is that an opportunity to bring in buyers or sellers? Probably not. This one's probably going to be a better blog for my blog that caters to real estate agents. So for my real estate website, I'm probably not going to do that one. But for my coaching website where I teach real estate agents how to get more leads, that might be a good one to put on there. It's not going to generate buyers and sellers and conversions for sales. It's more about just generating traffic to the website. Because here's what happens. When somebody types in a search and they find your website, and there are any qualifying signals to Google that person found that page valuable. That could be how long they're on the website. Did they click through anything? Did they comment? Did they share any type of engagement or interaction, or time sitting there watching your video that's on that blog post or something like that? Then Google stores a memory of that. And the next time somebody goes and types in a search, you're more likely to show up on the search engine for that term. You could move up higher on the search engine now because there's a memory between the two. So if you ever notice that when you go to one website, all of a sudden now there's ads showing up on your website because of the cookies. That's a whole nother topic, but all of a sudden you'll start seeing that a bunch more. It's on your Facebook feed. All of a sudden you do a search and you again find that maybe you were shopping, you were looking for really cool tennis shoes and you found tennis shoes on the Dillard's website. And then the next day you're looking at blazers and Dillard's comes up again, where maybe Nordstrom would have come up, but because you were just on the Dillard's website looking in there, Google's more likely to potentially show you that. It's all personalized search results. So we want to get these people on our websites. Okay. That being said, a lot of these are purely done for information and that person's not likely to stick around. Okay. So I would not fill up my whole website with only those types of questions unless you are looking to monetize your website with ad revenue. If you're looking to monetize your website with ad revenue or affiliate income, then those can be valuable. Informational articles can be valuable because they can be monetized in that fashion. Okay. All right. So what is an RPA in real estate? There's another one that would be for a real estate agent. What are emblements in real estate? How do you spell real estate? I didn't even think about people typing that in, but that might be worth having on our blog. What does delisted mean? What is a writer in real estate? Do I need a real estate license to flip houses? Ooh, that's a good one. So 320 monthly searches. Green means boom, you can rank fast. You got a brand new website. There's a good shot you can rank for if you create great content, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute.
You can see a couple below that too. Do you need a real estate license to flip houses? So if you combine the two of those, you kind of do that, right? Hit both of those questions.
Yeah, if you create a blog called "Do you need a real estate license to flip houses?" you're probably going to also rank for "Do I need a real estate license to flip houses?" even if you don't use that exact term. Yep. But you're right, Jeff. Look how much more volume it is. It basically shows us how much opportunity there is to create a great piece of content around real estate agents flipping houses, or needing or not needing a real estate license to flip houses. That I have not written that article, and now I'm going to go write that article after. I'm going to put that on my list. That's a good one. And that one could be on your real estate website. That one could be on that one actually works. You're getting the idea here. What is puffing in real estate? Okay. You're getting the idea. So these are ways to find questions. Another way to find questions that's free, but will not show you the search volume unless you have a paid keyword tool extension that, like I do. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Over here, if we were to go up to Google and we were to type in real estate, we're going to stay with that same sample for a minute. Okay. Scroll down and take a look. Here's that extension. So Uber suggests has an extension. So if you have their paid tool, the pro version, you also get this information to the right. I do enjoy the extension if you're using Chrome. Now over here, if you scroll down on the SERP, the search engine results page, you see an ad, and then there is only one ad up there for real estate today. That's actually very surprising. And then scroll down, and then you find this people also ask box. This is your money right here. This is the gold. If you are not paying for an SEO tool, this is your go-to right here. What exactly is real estate? How do I get started in real estate? Can you make good money in real estate? Okay. If you want to make that more local, I'm going to type in Las Vegas real estate. And we're going to go down here to the questions. Is Las Vegas real estate overpriced? That's a perfect blog to write on a real estate website, isn't it? What is a nice area to live in Las Vegas? How much money do you need to buy a house in Las Vegas? Is Vegas expensive to live? Now, if I click on any of these people also ask boxes, it expands and I get more questions. Is it a good time to buy in Las Vegas? How much money do you need to live comfortably in Las Vegas? Okay. Now, what happens is the answer of these questions is a passage that Google pulled from an existing website, and then they link them right here. So when you create a lot of content around questions, you have the chance of ranking in this people also ask section and get a link to your website where you may not have otherwise ranked on that page. Okay, these are huge. And what's more is sometimes there'll be a featured snippet right up top in this 0 position. Let me see if there's anything that shows up. What is a casita? Certain ones will return a featured snippet and certain ones won't. What is a master planned community? I remember seeing it for one of those. Best gated communities. I think it's this one. And they change. So Google's always playing with featured snippets, putting them in, taking them out, that type of thing. Anyway, I'm not pulling it up now. Some of these SEO tools like SEM Rush will actually show you which keyword phrases they're awarding featured snippets to, and which one they're awarding people also ask to. That's a little bit more advanced, but it's a really killer way to find out what your opportunity is for keywords without having to go in and do all the manual searches. You can just look at it and then export it to a spreadsheet and kind of work your way down that way. Okay. But this is a great example. Here we go. So I just typed in best gated communities in Las Vegas, looking for that featured snippet, right? Well, look what happens if you scroll down. There's a people also ask box. Are gated communities safer in Las Vegas? What is the most exclusive community in Las Vegas? What is the richest part of Las Vegas? Why are there so many gated? These are all blogs I should write if I'm in real estate. Every one of them. These all make sense. Okay. I'm seeing a couple questions. If I have leads coming to a website where yeah, that's probably not so much going to be on today's topic. That's going to be more on affiliate marketing. The question was, if I'm getting leads, where can I sell them? Because this person has figured out how to do SEO. And that's along the lines of what I do on my affiliate marketing channel. So we'll have to cover that at another time. Maybe I'll post you a little link. Yeah, just email me. That'll work. Is it Imran? I may not be pronouncing that right. Okay, great question though. I love where his thought is going with that, because that is something that I do as well. Okay, so before I get into now the big mama of today's lesson, I've already taught you the concept. I've showed you 3 places where to go get questions. There's also AskSocrates.com. There's AnswerThePublic.com. Jeff, I don't think I have a special link for Ask Socrates. I know I do for AnswerThePublic.com. Those are question-based tools. But if you have any of these other ones, they're grouped in there. So you don't need Sem Rush and Answer the Public, because now we have questions on those SEO tools as well. Now, what I want to show you is how to take these questions now and create great content so that you can rank on the search engines, okay? For the purpose of today's lesson, and we're going to wrap up here in the next 20 minutes, so stay with me because this one's really good. I'm going to open a new AI tool that I've been testing. Now, it's not Jarvis. I know a lot of you guys have seen me talk about Jarvis, and I love Jarvis. However, I'm doing a case study on the best AI tools, and I'm testing all the differences. And so far, I love Jarvis and Phrase, and I'm paying for them both because I like them for different things. Okay. So hopefully I'll get to a point where I only need to keep one of them. So Phrase, Jeff, I think you have the link to Phrase, or do you need me to find that? Joe's answering Imran's question. Contact local business owners and sell your leads. If you have them in predictable volume, you can also contact CPA networks, home advisor. Spot on. Exactly. Joe's got it. Okay. So Phrase, anybody here heard of Phrase, or is anybody on this call using an AI tool, of an AI writing assistant of any kind? This is a game changer. I have never liked AI writing tools because it used to feel like it was just a bunch of spun content that was pure, just one article being spit out with some different words. Although people are still using these for that, that isn't how I use it. Okay. I use it as a much deeper level and a much deeper tool. So Phrase is an artificial intelligent writing assistant. Now watch how, let's pick a phrase. Let's pick something like how to find the best real estate agent. All right. We're just going to take this phrase and we're going to go over to Phrase, and we're going to create a new document. Were you able to find that link, Jeff, or do you need me to put it? Jeff got it. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to put my target search query. This is the keyword phrase that I want to rank for. I'm going to put that whole sentence in there. This is a long tail keyword phrase. So the seed term or the head term was real estate. How to find the best real estate agent is our long tail keyword phrase that we're going to be targeting, is somebody typing in that question. Okay. Now we're going to go to create document. Now I have the paid upgrade that gives me a built-in SEO tool that works with my AI writing assistant. And this is where it gets good. Now with Jarvis, you can pay for the Surfer SEO upgrade. I kind of fell in love with Phrases SEO platform, and I have not actually tested. I watched the videos on the SEO on Surfer SEO, and I didn't like it as well as I like what Phrases SEO tool is doing. So I pay the extra for Phrases SEO tool. Just heads up on that. Okay. How to find the best real estate agent. Now watch this. This is mind blowing. Over here, there's something called brief. Now, the concept of a brief is that you can create a topic and then send it out to a writer and let him write it for you. So for example, Jeff and Paul at ballandbrands.com, they write content, but they don't create it in this fashion. They do more. They work with me to create a whole strategy, and then we create content, put it on your website, that kind of thing. I consult, they create. But there's other ways to get content. Their content is SEO optimized. They put it on the website. There's all kinds of stuff happening. But you can buy just the text content from writing houses. There's a bunch of them. Look up ghostwriters or Writer Access is one that I've been using recently. I've used Crowd Content and Buy Sell Text and Writer Access. I really like their platform overall. And then there's freelance writers, or you can go to Fiverr, you can go to Upwork. So this brief was kind of created, I think, for the idea that you can automate a brief and send it out to a writer. Okay. So I'm now using these briefs to send content out when I want to hire writers myself. All right. You can also use it to create your own content. So let me show you how it works. If I click automate brief, I'm going to let it give me all the goods here. And I'm going to click insert brief. It is now scouring the web, pulling in your top competitors, and it's going to create for you a brief that tells you approximately how many words your website needs to be. The people also ask questions so that you don't have to go dig them all up. It's going to show you a potential topic cluster, which we talked about on my last video. It's going to show you who your competitors are here for research. It's going to tell you the top 20 topics that people are using in that blog itself. It's going to give you statistics, headers, and external sources to link back to. I mean, holy mind blown. Just an incredible resource. Then what you can do, hold on a second, I gotta catch my breath. Okay, I get so excited sometimes I chase my own adrenaline up. Okay, then what you can do is you can use this tab here, My Content, and you can take your content brief or My Content, and over here you can actually start writing from that content. Okay. So let's take our AI tool and say, let's just start here. And we could say something like, what is a real estate agent, for example? Then we can hit Command Enter, and we can let Jarvis start writing for us. Okay. Oops, I just messed it up. What we can do with this is we can create all these different headings from our brief and let the AI tool start filling in some of those answers for us. I've got a video. This one doesn't work as well with the brief actually already created. This is why I like Jarvis better for the freestyle kind of writing. There's a much better flow. But once I get going here with phrase, a real estate agent is your top asset when looking to buy a house in Las Vegas. Okay, now let me see if it'll go on to the next line. There we go. Okay, so now you can allow it to keep writing for you, or you can start adding on and writing your own. So phrase goes out there and it scours the topic and it writes for you in its own words. Okay. So that's a really cool way to use these AI tools. For me, I'm going to give you my absolute best format when you're formatting an SEO piece of content, regardless of how you write it. Okay. So the first thing is you need to have a title that is about 60 characters and includes your focus keyword. You can rank today on Google you can rank on Google without using the keyword and without using it a certain amount of time and without putting it in particular placements. But we like to apply best practices in SEO to improve our chances of ranking for a particular term. So we take our target keyword, which in this case is how to find the best real estate agent, and we put it in some key places on our content when we're creating them. Those key places are your title, your URL, your heading of your paragraph. So like your first heading, and in an image alt tag when you're optimizing images, if that makes sense, and in your closing paragraph. Okay. Those are just kind of some best practices when you're applying your SEO content. I've got specific videos on how to do just those things. Thank you, Eric. Eric just bought us a cup of coffee. We appreciate that. Eric Brown, thank you. Okay, so then the next thing you're going to notice is the title, and then I usually do an intro. So this is going to be a short intro. It's about 2 to 3 lines, and it'll include that seed keyword, that keyword phrase as well. If you're looking for how to find the best real estate agent, so I might say something like, when you're ready to make the biggest financial decision of your life and have decided to buy a home, it's important to have an expert team working with you. So if you're looking for how to find the best real estate agent, this guide is for you, something along those lines. Okay, so there's your intro. Okay, then I will usually have an image, a video, a stat, something along those lines, and then a table of contents. So table of contents is going to help you earn site links. I'm not going to talk about that today, but I'm just telling you it's worth having because it gives you enhanced features on your snippets on the search engines. It can help you earn site links. It can help Google crawl that page and pull passages better. It's good for user experience. So a table of contents is basically where they can click on any item at the top and it'll shoot them down to the blog to find just the portion they're looking for. If you have a brew, which is the websites that Jeff and Paul build at balancedbrands.com, that table of contents is automatically populated for you. If you're using a page builder like Elementor or any of those, you can get a table of contents to format for you. If you're using WordPress, you can add a table of contents plugin and it basically creates a table of contents out of all of your paragraph headings. Okay. If you need more on that, talk to Jeff. He can walk you through that a little bit more. Joe asked what plugin do I use for table of contents? I was using TOC Plus, I think it was, or Easy Table of Contents. Now, because I've got the Elementor page builder, I just put in a table of contents and it populates for me. So that might be another option. I don't know if you're looking at doing any page builders, but any of those, just make sure it's obviously, if you're in SEO, you know this, just make sure it has, it's being updated. You can tell when you do the plugins, because one of those table of contents, I stopped using it because they stopped updating it. And I was concerned about hackers and whatnot. So any of those will work. There's a bunch that are free. And again, if you have Balance, any of you guys have a brew that already is in there, you don't need to add it again. Okay. And Brew now has the Elementor page builder as well. Okay. So now table of contents is the next item. And then down here, this is where I'll start putting the headers. So if you look at the content brief, it gives you an idea of some of what other people are using as the headers. If you look over to the right, if you don't want to use the brief, these are all of the competitors that are ranking in order. So number 1 for this term, how to find the best real estate agent, is Bankrate. Number 2 is NerdWallet. Number 3 is Forbes. Oh, that's so annoying as a real estate agent that it's not real estate agents ranking. It's all the big guys. Okay, then we have Ramsey Solutions. Is that Dave Ramsey? Probably Dave Ramsey. And then Forbes. Okay, so if we look at these, you can kind of look, here's their headings. It says it right here. Real estate agents, how we make money. This one doesn't really apply. So I would go down to the next one. How to find the best real estate agent. Real estate agents basics. What does a real estate agent do? What is the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent? So these are the headings so each paragraph, and then it has a heading. These are the headings that website used. Then you can go look at the next one. What did they use? Where to find an agent? What's 7 things to look for in an agent? So I don't go in and just copy what the other people did, but I will look at these for inspiration. Oh, I didn't cover that. I didn't cover that. Now, where it gets really good is over here with phrase or something called optimize. And it tells you what keywords all those other top ranking blogs are using, what words, what text on their page they're using that you didn't yet use. So you can scroll down here and go, oh, does that apply? Does that apply? Does that apply? Okay. So it'll help you pull in those latent semantic index keywords, the semantically related keywords, making sure you've covered all the topics. So for me, using an AI tool actually doesn't speed me up. It slows me down because it helps me go in and catch all my gaps. And I go, oh, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Yes, if you're using the AI writing assistant, it can speed you up. But going in and making sure we're optimizing what can take up a little bit more time. And then here there's a tab called questions, and take a look at this. What buyers and sellers should ask real estate agents? Where do sellers currently find real estate agents? How to find interview real estate agents? Why it's necessary. So these list of questions, and you go, oh, that's a good one. Maybe I want to include that. Okay. In addition, when you're using phrase, you have these inline templates. So you've got all kinds of introduction, blog title, bullet points, conclusion paragraphs, okay, that are really cool. Or you can also look up SERP data. So I want you to give me the list of questions. You can type in questions and it pops them in for you. And then what I do is after I create a full piece of content, I use Grammarly. Jeff can show you the link. I just got an email from Grammarly yesterday that I'm like in the top 1% of all Grammarly users because I'm putting out so much content, but I put it in Grammarly. Here's an example of one I did this morning. And then I pay for the Grammarly Premium or Pro or whatever it's called. And that gives me down here, there's something called the Plagiarism Checker. So you click plagiarism, and then it will tell you if any of these phrases have been used anywhere else. Well, because I published this article, it's telling me it's 100% plagiarized from this link because I published it this morning. So it's actually picking up the fact that content already exists on the web. Okay. So obviously, if I didn't already publish this, that wouldn't be there. But if your AI tool was doing any kind of stealing content, or which these don't, but anything like that, your plagiarism would pick that up. It would say, here's that art that's been used somewhere else. So I always, after I complete an article, I run it through the plagiarism checker just to make sure. And it'll pick up like 7 or more words used in the exact same way. It will pick up. So sometimes there will be phrases that are 7 words, like how to stop my cat from sneezing. And there might be, if your cat is sneezing, it might have an upper respiratory infection. Well, that sentence might be said 25 times out on the web. It's not plagiarized. It's just a bunch of you have said those 7 words exactly the same because it makes sense to do so. What I'm looking for in that plagiarism checker is I'm going in to see if there's any articles that have a large amount of text that look directly copied. And then I know I have an issue. So if I'm hiring a writer, I'll run it through plagiarism checker. If I'm using an AI tool, I'm running it through a plagiarism checker, just to make sure that there's no problems with that. I've never had any problem yet with my AI tools pulling in any duplicate content. stealing anything. So this is just really, really cool tool for those of you that want to up your game a little bit. But otherwise, in closing today, without the fancy schmancy tools, you want to go write blogs based on questions that your clients or customers or would-be consumers are using. Okay. You want to make sure you create a great title, about 60 characters or less, create an intro paragraph, include visuals, pictures, infographics. I use Canva and I pay for the Canva Pro, and I get all of my photos from there. I make infographics, I make lists, all kinds of things that are original content. You can also use stock photo. It's just got huge amounts of stock photos in there as well. And then you put in your table of contents, and then you're just going to create a whole bunch of different paragraphs that describe how somebody should do whatever it is that's in that question. Okay. Those are the quick version of that. Obviously, there's a lot more comprehensive training, but this is enough to get you guys all started. Jeff, were there any last minute questions before I let everybody go? Or did we get it all?
Nope, we got it all covered.
All right. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to Jeff and Paul, my brothers over at ballenbrands.com. Comment on any of the channels that you're in or message me directly, Lori at LoriBallen.com. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.